Hello guys and welcome. Today I'm gonna show how easy and quick it is to create this environment inside of Unreal Engine. We're gonna use just Megascans and work a little bit in the light and post-processing inside of Unreal Engine, and we can create amazing things just doing that. We're gonna divide this tutorial in 5 parts: pre-production, block out, environment creation, lighting, and video creation. If you are a completely beginner on Unreal Engine, no problem, we will be able to follow every step of this tutorial. And for more content about CGI and game development, don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon. So let's get started. A good place to start a project like that is just looking for some reference. You can go to Pinterest or you can go to Google. In my case, I'm gonna go to Google and I wanna search for something like a mystical forest or something enchanted forest with a lot of fog and Godrays. So that's the ambience that I want for my scene. So once I have all the reference that I want, I just put everything together inside of a pure file, and then we're good to go inside of Unreal Engine. Here inside of Unreal Engine, I'm just gonna create a new project. I'm gonna use the third-person template, and I'm gonna put start content, and also gonna enable ray tracing to have a better results in the video after. The first thing that I'm gonna do is create a level. I'm gonna use the basic template just because we already have some setup and lighting. Here inside of the new level, I'm just gonna delete this shape here. To create a landscape, you just need to change from selection mode to landscape mode. In here, just go down. The section size I'm gonna let 15 quads for 15 quads to be about 120 meters for 120 meters. I think it's a good size, and just hit create. Now you have a landscape. I'm just gonna save the level. So now you can go to Pixel Bridge and search for some Megascan assets. For those who never did that before, just need to click here and go to Pixel Bridge. Here in Pixel Bridge, you just need to start looking for assets that make sense for the environment that you want to create. In our case, we are creating a forest, so we can or start searching the search bar, but in my case, I'm gonna do something slightly different. I'm gonna go to collections and then environment and then natural to see if there's any environment that matches with the thing that I want to create. I believe that broadleaf forest is a good place to start, and I just going to start to download some assets. I'm doing that instead of just freestyling the assets because it's easier to blend all the assets together when they belong to the same environment in the same collection. So we're gonna do that for the main assets and the main scene compositions, and afterwards I'm gonna search for other assets that to finalize the scene. But really usually a good place to start trying to find a collection and start blend those assets together first. And if you never did that before, you just need to click in the assets that you like and go here, choose the quality. Usually it's best choose nanite because there will be pretty good assets with optimized performance. And then we just need to download, and when the download is finished, you can click in the add button and automatically gonna be add to your project. Once you have the assets that you need, you can start blocking out the scene. Blocking out a scene is a really important part of the process to create any environment. Usually it's a quick process and can save you tons of time down the road when you are creating your environment. So we're gonna just use some primitive shapes inside of Unreal and try to place everything together to have a sense of scale in the environment creation, to try to foresee any problems that you might have and understand better how the scene is going to work. Here inside of Unreal, I'm gonna search for some skeletal mesh. I have some in the starter content. I'm just gonna drag to our level I'm doing that just to have a human scale. It'll be easier to not get lost the scale of the scene. That's often a problem. And besides the mannequin, I just gonna a few scale cubes. At the same thing, you just need to grab the cube and you press R to scale. I'm just gonna scale a little bit. I'm gonna make like 5 meters cube, and I'm gonna make a 10 meters cube. If you wanna just copy, you just need to hold Alt and click with the mouse. You're gonna create a copy, change the scale to 10. And then you have the two scales in the mannequin. I'm just gonna change the color of those scales. Just drag and find which material. Need to click here, so you have this material. I'm gonna create a copy real quick, and I'm just gonna change the color. Hit apply. And now you can have a distinction between what is scale and what is blocking out. Well, now we can start blocking out. I'm gonna just drag a few primitives and start to scale and move them, and to create the scene that you want. In the reference I'm gonna make something over here, like some rooms or some stones or something like that. And I'm just gonna start blocking out the ideas that I think are gonna work. So I'm gonna start grabbing some shapes like this one. I'm gonna make a copy, increase the scale, rotate a little bit. Once you are done blocking out, we can start the environment. Now it's a really exciting part of the process, because you're gonna take all the Megascan assets that we downloaded before and you're gonna start placing the scene using the blocking out as a reference and bringing the scene to life. So let's gonna do that. I'm going to start drag and drop the assets to the level to see what kind of assets I have, and then I'm going to start placing them and change the scale, the rotation to make them fit in the environment that I want to create. Now that the environment is coming together, let's create a camera so we can walk around using the camera and see how the environment is coming together. Also change from lit mode to lit mode to understand better the lights, and the overall composition is a good practice and can make you have more control of the environment. Here I'm just going the material instance of this Megascan asset and changing the color tint of the rock, and you can do that with any assets that you want. Now it's time to work on foliage. You can download plants from Pixel Bridge the same way that we did for the other assets, but we can find really good quality trees and plants on the real marketplace as well. So if you go to Unreal Marketplace and type Megascan trees, you're gonna find a few packages. They are really good quality, and I'm gonna use one of those packages in my environment. For those who doesn't know how to get packages from the Unreal Marketplace, just click on Add to the project and choose the project that you work on, and the download will be automatic. And now we're going to start working with the plants and trees, and instead of placing individually each plant and tree, I'm gonna use the foliage mode. To do that, you just need to change from selection mode to foliage. I'm gonna do that because it will be much more efficient for those who never use the foliage mode before. And how the foliage works? Well, you have these options here. I'm gonna painting the plants. And how does that work? So I'm gonna just choose a few plants that I want, that I downloaded. So I'm gonna want this one, maybe this one as well, or let's see, white grass. So now we have three kind of plants, and if we just need to change a few configurations before start doing that. So the brush size, it's a little too big. Now it's better. And if you go if you click in each individual plant, you're gonna open a config menu, and here we can change some configurations. So I'm gonna let the density the same way, but I'm gonna change the scale. So I just gonna ask for a variation between 0.8 to 1.3, just because they're gonna paint this kind of plant and gonna make a variation of scale between this range. And also I'm gonna change the ground slope angle, because you have pretty steep stones and I want to place some plants here. I'm just gonna change the slope to 90 degrees so I can paint plants on the rocks as well. So I just need to make the same configuration for the other two plants, and now we can start painting. So you just grab your brush and click with the left mouse button, and we have your tree and we have your plants. So you can do that in the level. And if you want to change the plants, you just need to just turn off and we have just the two plants. Maybe you want to change to put more kind of a flower, just put the flower, and I'm gonna turn off this one as well. And then start making different compositions of foliage. And we're gonna do the same thing for the trees, and it'll be much faster doing this way than just like placing each of the plants individually. Can also select the trees or the foliage individually. If you want, you just need to change from paint to select, and we can do that and work with the trees or foliage as you are working with any other asset. We are almost getting the light section. I'm just gonna download a few drawings and a few assets in Megascan to compose better the scene, to make a really mystical first path with a few drawings, to have a story to tell about this environment. Now we're going to start to work on the lights. For this scene in specific, it's a really important part of the process because you need to create that misty and oniric vibe, and you're gonna do that just tweaking the light. So you're gonna change the exponential high fog, the directional light, and the camera lens. So let's go do that. Here inside of Unreal, I just delete all the lights that we had before, and I'm gonna create the lights again. So we just need to go to Window and Environment, Light Mixer, and just like clicking all the buttons to create everything that you need to set up the light. So now you have the light again. After creating the lights, I'm just gonna create a post-process volume because it's easier to control the camera exposure. I'm gonna type unbound to make the post-process volume applying in all the scene, and then I'm gonna look for exposure in the configuration bar and change to manual and adjust the exposure. Once you do that, you are good to go to start tweaking the light. I'm going to start changing the sun for the angle that I like for this scene. I believe like a late afternoon sun would be good for this scene to create that misty oniric vibe. And now I'm gonna change a few things inside of the directional light. So the source angle I'm gonna decrease to 0 because it's gonna help me with that flickering shadow. I need to increase a little bit the indirection light to create a little bit more lighting in the forest because it's still dark right now and too hard shadows. Here in exponential high fog, we need to enable the volumetric fog because you have more control. We're gonna increase the fog density to start to create that Godrays. I'm gonna change the albedo to make the fog a little bit yellowish, just to increase the Godrays effect. And also I'm gonna change the near fading distance to have a little bit more of visibility. In the camera, we just need to change a few things. I'm gonna put to the camera to see how it looks right now, but we need to change I'm gonna change the bloom because the bloom is going to increase the Godray effect. We don't need too much because it's gonna be too blurry, but if you increase a little bit the bloom, you can have enhance the results of the Godrays. Also, I want to change the lens flare just to have that flare effect when the camera look at the sun. And we are good to go to start creating the video. Creating a video inside of Unreal Engine can be really a straightforward process. We just need to have a camera that we already have, and then you just need to put this camera inside of a sequencer. And once you have the sequencer, you just need to enable a plugin, the movie render queue, and you are good to go to create any video that you want. So let's go to inside of Unreal Engine and do just that. So here inside of Unreal, you need to create a sequencer. I just need to go to cinematics and create a level sequence. Opening the sequencer, you just need to find the camera. So how the sequence works and why it's important? Well, the sequencer, you're gonna use the sequencer to render your video afterwards. And how the sequencer works? Well, we have this sequencer down here with this red arrow. It's like showing the time where you are at the video, and also have this left panel with some configurations of the camera. And the way the sequence works is pretty straightforward. So you need to choose a time in the video that you want to make some changes in the camera, and then you just need to move the camera and or adjust all the configuration in the left panel. And once you are satisfied with the configuration that you made in that time frame, you just need to click the plus button for each change that you made. And you can do that between time along the sequencer. So when you have a lot of marks in the sequencer and you press play in the sequencer, you're just gonna see the camera moving from one configuration to another, and then you create a video. Now that the video is done, we need to enable a plugin, the movie render queue that I told before. We just need to go to edit and plugins and type movie render queue and enable. We're gonna need to restart the engine, but once you restart, you can use the movie render queue. When you restart the engine, you just need to go to window and cinematics and find movie render queue. Inside of a movie render queue, you need to find your sequencer, and once you find, you will be able to create your settings for the video that you're gonna make. The movie render queue already have two templates, draft template and the ultra quality template. I'm gonna choose the ultra quality template and I'm going to change a little bit. This template, the ultra quality template, will be gonna have a really good result, but depending on your computer, you're gonna take maybe a day to render a video, or at least like 5-6 hours. And I'm not looking for that right now. I just wanna create a good quality video, but not the maximum quality. So what I'm gonna do here, I'm gonna change the XCR sequencer to PNG sequencer. The XCR is better, don't get me wrong, but they are really heavy and bigger files, and I just want to use PNG because I believe for what I want, the quality will be enough. Analyze option, that's one of the most important for quality. I just gonna decrease a little the quality, the sample count above, just because this is one of the things that slowed the most the render time. So I just gonna decrease a little to have this video faster. In the output, I'm gonna change a few things. The first thing will be the file name format. I'm gonna take out the ultra in the end of the name, just because you're gonna have all the PNGs and names sequencing in numbers like 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on. And we just, if you open like Adobe Premiere or Final Cut or anything like that, usually you just grab the first PNG and automatically in the Adobe Premiere or the Final Cut create a video for you. But if you have the ultra in the end of the name, it'll be much harder to make that automatically. So that's why I'm gonna change. I'm gonna change the output resolution as well, just to make the same aspect ratio of the Full HD. this default resolution gonna make some black strips on the sides of the video, and I want to avoid that. I'm gonna change the frame rates to 30 FPS because I use 30 FPS in the sequencer. And you are good to go. Just press OK and put render local, and you're gonna start render your video. Congratulations, and stay tuned for more content to come.